Thank you. I'm a believer of life. I'm a person who's driven completely, totally, and entirely by my energies. I believe that the difference between what I call the commoners and the flyers is the energy that they live by. I'm here to talk to you about a very simple concept, and that's the concept of mentoring. And I believe that I'm here today as a professional, as a working mom who travels the world, who fulfills her passion, because people like you have made the choice that you have to be in the profession of saving lives. So thank you. This is something that's very close to each of you. And when I looked at it closely, I realized that the entire essence of the Hippocratic Oath lies in mentoring. It actually believes that I will respect those who gave me and invested in me, and I will share in those that come ahead of me. And that's exactly what I'm here to talk to you about, because if we didn't have the people who believed in us, we wouldn't be where we are today, despite the rebellion that we had. So what happened with me was I was in college and I was a rebel, and I would end up cracking a lot of jokes and having a lot of fun. And I was spotted by one of my seniors. And I remember him coming up to me and asking me to audition for theatre. And I laughed back at him and I said, you know, you're joking, I can't be in theatre. And for the next 2 years of my life in college, I went on to win every accolade there was in performance. And today, looking back, I realize if it hadn't been for that person who invested in saying, I'm going to take you out of there and get you to do things that you believe you can, I wouldn't be the kind of person I am, right? Because in our profession, we have a lot of conversations, we have a lot of public speaking, there's a lot of forums, and a lot of confidence actually came from that. The second mentor that happened to me is I was again an art student who was just studying for the sake of studying and enjoying my life. And again, another senior spotted me and said, take up economics, major in economics. I hated economics. You know, like Jay said, there is a fire within all of us that we forget we have. And the ones who raised their hands when he said, you know, you want to become someone, they've acknowledged that they have that fire in them. There's a whole lot of you who didn't raise your hands, and those are the guys who have the fire in them but don't want to acknowledge it. And that's where mentors come in. That's when you start thinking about when I don't put on this facade of who I want to be, and when I actually am around people, there is someone who acknowledges that there is this spark in me and who tells me about it and pushes me to drive myself. If you have those people, then hold on to them. Because that's what I did. I went on to take economics, and I became the first student of Jain College to be on the state merit list. I couldn't believe it. Ronnie Screwvala had no intention to mentor me. So Ronnie was back from a jog one morning, and he walked into his cabin, and he saw me, and I was this, you know, pretty young thing trying to be very cool in office. And he said, hey, come here. And I said, yes, Ronnie. I said, sit down. I sat down. And he said, what have you been up to for the past 1 month? I said, we've done, you know, we launched Denai, we did stuff on Radio Midday, we created Iva's brand copy. And he said, excellent. How much have you billed? And I stopped. And he said, you've been working hard for a month, and your billings are less than 1 lakh this month. Get out of here. That stuck to me for a long time. Today, all of his advertising executives have grown to a point where we realize that a business is nothing until you can't deliver the numbers, right? And that's something that I learned early on in life because someone spurned me and made me realize that God lies in the numbers. I then moved on to join advertising. Advertising had two people who were the kings of advertising. The man to the left was a man called Mohammed Khan, who was, you know, the creative god, and the one to the right was a king of strategy. Again, there, the first few weeks that I spent, I was stapling papers. So if you've seen the movie Karate Kid, have you seen it, yeah? There is this little kid who's Will Smith's son, and you have Jackie Chan. And Will Smith's son is very, very eager to learn Kung Fu Karate from him. And for the first day that Jackie trains him, he makes him take a jacket and wear it and take it out, and wear it and take it out. And he does it about 100 times over. And this kid is frustrated. That's pretty much what happened to us. We were in office, and for an entire week, I remember this very clearly. Rajiv gave us a heap of papers and he said, staple them. Staple them and get them in. Staple them and get them in. And I remember writing hundreds of briefs a day and having them thrown on my face. Today I interview some people, a lot of bright minds come to me and they want to take on jobs with us. And I find that they're exceptionally good at what they do. And if there's one thing that they lack, it's detail. And I can't say enough about the power of getting the point, right? So a lot of people get the full picture, but they miss the point. These guys taught me that life is not in the plot, it's in the detail. And I owe a lot of what I do today in terms of investing myself in what I do. The company that I head is India's first media audit firm, which takes me to the most important thing that all of us need to reflect. That when we're doing what we do, why are we doing it? What are our needs? What needs are you trying to fulfill? Now, when you go to the top of the pyramid, you realize that there's a side of you that wants to achieve beyond the money, the fame, the friends, and all of that. And that's where I think paying back and mentoring comes in. And this is eventually the place that I ended up joining. I became a mom. I took a sabbatical for 3 years. And after I came back to wanting to work, this lady hired me and she said, come and work for me and set up a new business. I mentor a lot of people around me because I realized that the entire new breed of people wants challenges every day. Everyone bores out. Right? So holding on to people who are able to make that impact on you is going to be your choice. And I'm going to leave you with a very simple question. Do you want to achieve in life? Do you want to evolve? Yeah, it's been lovely talking to you. Thank you.